During the offseason, the Pittsburgh Steelers acquired quarterbacks Russell Wilson and Justin Fields along with other players. But ever since the pickups, the main question has been who will start for this team at the quarterback position. Russ, after signing, was talked about as being the starter for the team early on. But then talks were slowly creeping in that Fields, since being young and still having great potential, has a chance for the spot. Recently, Russ suffered a calf injury, but commented he was all good. And after that, Fields was gaining more snaps and even started this preseason game against the Texans with stats of 5-6 with 67 yards. He was sacked twice, 1 run for 2 yards, and 2 fumbles. Now, Caleb, after seeing everything that's been going on with this quarterback situation, who do you think will be the starter by the beginning of the season?
I think they'll move more so to Justin Fields, even to start the season. Now, I know many people have Russell Wilson starting the season off, then them going to Justin Fields, but I think they'll actually start off the season with Justin Fields. Justin Fields is a more promising quarterback to me than Russell Wilson at this stage in their careers. Going on footage in this preseason game, Justin Fields, he had, he was 5-6 and he had 67 yards. I don't really consider it a mishap on his end. I think the big thing, in my opinion, has to do with like the offensive coordinator position. Even after they got rid of Matt Canada, a lot of stuff they was running was kind of suspect in my opinion. Now, they ran like a screen play that I didn't really like. Most of the stuff was just dump off passes for him. It wasn't anything deep, which I really wasn't too shocked about. I'm more so focused on seeing Justin Fields throw the ball down the field. Even if, the wide receivers, that Pittsburgh has aren't really that good. They have George Pickens, but even if they aren't that great, I still want to see him showcasing the development, throwing the ball down the field. These dump offs, I'm not really moved by him. And he had 2 gaping fumbles, like off snaps. So the fumbles off the snaps, they're going to come. Eventually, him and his center, they'll have better chemistry and coordination where, they'll kind of wrap that up in the season. Because, things like that, they're really just a chemistry thing, in my opinion. For the season, this will definitely be more situated on, the confidence that they have in their starting quarterback, Justin Fields. Justin Fields, in my opinion, is a really good quarterback. This was more so a focus to me on the coaching staff than Justin Fields. Justin Fields, he still has a couple of problems, mainly dealing with processing. He took a minute to process down the field, and he took a couple of bad sacks. I think the main thing with him is processing, and this is kind of the most important factor of a quarterback and detailing if a quarterback's going to be good or not. How well they process defenses, pre-snap, motioning, adjustments, how well they can see the defense, and if the offensive coordinator can put them in a position to easily recognize defenses.
After 3 drives, Justin Fields' night is over. He was in mid-season form. Multiple beautiful passes, multiple drive-killing sacks, multiple fumble snaps. That's just kind of giving you guys a landscape of what the Twitter reaction is for Justin Fields with his preseason debut. Mixed responses, but to answer Jalen's question on who I think will start the season, I do think that Russell Wilson will start the season. I think that was always the intention. I don't think that there's really anything that Justin Fields could do in this preseason for him to start. I do think, as Caleb iterated, that the OC is kind of limiting what he is doing. I don't know if it's due to a lack of trust or incapability, or they're just trying to protect him because they do think that he will start. But if you ask me, I think that Russell Wilson will start. I do think that it will be short-lived. I know we have a Russell Wilson stan on the panel, and I just want to let them know that he's going to be in for a very, very long season. I wonder if my brother Jalen, if he will be tuning into the games where Russell Wilson is riding the bench. I wonder if he'll be tuning into those games as well, or if he'll just tune into the games where Russell Wilson is starting. But I give it about around week 4, week 5, when the Pittsburgh Steelers have a 1-4 record or a 2-3 record. Mike Tomlin will have seen enough and he'll insert Justin Fields. I do think that the whole point of adding Justin Fields was for him to be the quarterback of the future and for them to kind of slow track it a little bit. Let Russell Wilson attempt to cook before he burns down the kitchen.
A bullshit.
And then they slowly implement Justin Fields into the offense. I think that's kind of how I'm viewing it. Like CJ said, gave a lot of great analysis on just what he's seen. I haven't really seen anything from Justin Fields that I haven't already seen. As CJ said, that he is, relatively slow processor of the football. And I think that that's like my biggest concern with scrambling quarterbacks, especially scrambling quarterbacks that have high sack rates, is because they are taking too long to process. So I wonder if that's going to be a hindrance on him and his ability to be a competent quarterback, because in my humble opinion, there's still a lot out there for us to look at and to evaluate before we determine if he is starter level. Yeah, man, I'm gonna rock with Russell Wilson to start the season, but Justin Fields fans, don't be too worried. Don't be too down in the dumps. He'll be starting relatively soon.
Yes. Russell Wilson staying here. I stand by it. My thoughts on, the pickups of Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. I said this, as soon as it happened. I said Russ was brought in to not just compete, for that spot against Justin Fields, but to actually help him. You look back on Russell Wilson, his prime, he was, very evasive and slippery when it comes to, getting out of certain situations. I think he can help Justin Fields in that aspect. He can also help Justin Fields in his throw on the run. He can help him with, accuracy things. When you look at Justin Fields last season, he started off that season kind of rough, kind of shaky, but then he started to pick it up, and then you start to see the wins. It's not like there's no potential there. There's something there that just needs to be tapped into, but I don't think it's a smart decision and the right time for him to start, because if he does start, we might see a repeat of last season. He might start off shaky and rough and then start to pick it up later on in the season. So I think it's best to start Russ. Not just saying that as a fan. Not only is Russ getting, a better line, he's also getting a coach that's a winning coach. Mike Tomlin, he's never had a losing season. I think it's best to start Russ, and then, if Russ is shaky, then, you can throw Justin Fields in and then see what we got.
I think is that, if you're going to slowly move him into that quarterback role, why not, let us get a glimpse of Russell Wilson in the new offense? We kind of want to see Justin Fields more than Russell Wilson because he shows more promise. He has more potential at this point of his career. But why not? Can we see a glimpse of Russell Wilson in the first preseason game? If you're going to move in that direction, that's why I had them just starting out with him. And if he has any trouble, them just going back with Russell Wilson, I could easily see that. If he starts this year off slow, which could possibly happen because, like I said, he's not a crazy in-depth thrower in my opinion. He does have a good deep ball. That's why I was a bit disappointed that we didn't see him throw the ball down the field. But coaching really does matter. I really wouldn't be surprised if they come down the line, they're like, hey, Justin, we need you to win us this game down in the football game. And we see Justin Fields win them a game in a regular season. So it's definitely on the table in my opinion.